and welcome to YHTV's Trinity of Life, Episode 11. I'm Christina Suzuma, your host for this program. Thank you so much for joining me here again as I continue to explore the wonderful world of healing arts, meditation, therapies, and also getting to know those who are on the leading edge of creating change on this planet. Today I have with me two very special individuals who have come together and have joined together for a second year to bring us the Enliven Festival, which takes place here in Southern California. I would like to welcome Hemalayaa and also Jason Weisgerber. I hope I pronounced that right.
Yes.
Hello, Hema. How are you?
Hello, Christina. Thank you so much for having us. I am great.
Fabulous. This is getting to be a really exciting time for you both.
Whoo! It's getting there. We are excited. We're super excited to launch our Enliven 2012 that is happening starting on Friday.
Yay! Hi, Jason.
Hi, Christina.
Happy
How
to
you
have
doing?
you here with us as well.
Very good to be here. Thanks for having us.
Oh, yes, absolutely. It was great meeting you both at the Tadasana Festival, and now you have your own festival coming up. That's really exciting.
Yes, absolutely.
And really, congratulations, the second year, which, you know, we understand with all productions. You know, the first is the little intro, and then the second one, you're kind of, you know, picking up, and it's fantastic. And hopefully we can bring more speed to everything that you're both doing.
Right.
So let's start with a little bit about each of you and how you both came together. So who would like to speak first?
I guess I will.
Ladies first.
So like we were talking about last year, we launched what was then called the Hema Wellness Program. And it's a full teacher training. But now what we did was we split it up. So the first 5 days is called the Enliven 2012. And I wanted to put a team together that were just good people. I didn't even know what their skills were, but I was like, I want some good people around me. This is something that I'm learning about myself is I tend to think that I can do everything on my own. And I really was ready to step into community and making it be a community service type of event and team work and journey along the way. So it wasn't just for offering to the community, but it was a community bringing it all together into a larger community. So Jason and I met actually through Facebook.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is good for some things, isn't it?
Definitely. I write a blog, and he occasionally would comment on it, and then he commented, and I was like, who is this guy? You know, like his comments were so good, and they were really like, and he would write these messages that were like this long, and he really took the time. Yeah. And I didn't know he was a coach or anything like that. I just was thinking, gosh, this guy has some really good insights. You know, he's really nailing me on some of the things, you know, that I'm saying. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so good. So
Not
I wrote
on
him
Facebook.
Yeah. I know, exactly. So I wrote him back, and I, you know, just say, this is, you know, thank you so much. You've definitely brought some light into my path and what I'm doing, and I appreciate it. And so we kind of went back and forth very casually. Probably, what do you think, Jason, about 5 months or so?
Yeah,
4 months?
yeah, that sounds about right. Sure.
Yeah, and then somehow we got into conversation that he works in the same area that I live, and it's right by Cafe Gratitude and all this stuff. So, you know, we thought maybe we should get together for a tea or something. And so that's how it happened. We met and we had, you know, some definitely interesting, interests. And then, so when I was putting my team together, it was very close to that time. And I thought maybe he would like to be a part of it because he has, you know, such good insights, and he's such a great manager and team leader. So I thought it would be really beneficial also so that I don't have to be the boss. Right? I'm the creative muse and do my thing of the visionary, because I definitely have that visionary aspect for the whole thing. And since it was a baby of mine, birthing it like that felt right. So we had Jason, myself, and a couple of others that sat in my garden on the grass, and that was our first meeting.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and I think even just to Christina, can I add to that?
Oh, absolutely.
You know, I would add to that when she and I first started talking, you know, I had seen her website and watched some of her videos, and I knew immediately that she was just a really strong presence and teacher, and I knew that she had something very, very unique that I thought, which was just a natural sense of caring for people and for individual and collective wellness. And I was drawn to that from the very beginning. And then when we got together, we started talking. I was even thinking of all the events that she was doing, because I had myself somewhat of an event background. I used to work for a pretty high level motivational speaker and author as his project manager, and for a couple of years. And I loved that, but it was missing a little bit of something. What I soon came to find was just a little bit of more heart and maybe some spirituality and some holistic kinds of things. And so when I met with him, I really started seeing the whole picture. And then she started talking about the Hema Wellness Program and what soon became Enliven. And I think just quite naturally, we started seeing how we might work together. And it started out as me coming in to speak at the event. And then I started saying, we started talking more about maybe me coming in as kind of like a co-producer or a project manager, and be able to take over some of those roles and some of that energy as sort of a manager, so that she could do exactly what she is meant to do, loves to do, and people love to see her do. Right. Teach and speak and be a beautiful, natural, shining light. So it's been a good collaboration so far.
And so how many people were involved the first year?
Oh, the first year, last year, it was me. And that's how I felt like this year. I was like, I don't want to do it alone again. And, you know, the vision was on a bigger, I wanted it to evolve and grow. And I knew that I couldn't do that by myself, and nor did I want to. It was really what I learned last year, because I actually got to be in it last year. I felt like, even though I was holding the space for those 9 days, I was also in it. And within it, I was seeing it differently. I had no idea it was going to look like that. And as I was seeing it, I thought, wow, this could really benefit a lot more people at the same time. So if we could really grow it, then I think it would be really super beneficial. So that's where it kind of came from. And I want to say, Hema Wellness Program. The Hema stands for Healing, Empowerment, Movement, and Ayurveda. And that's where the whole thing happened, where it was like, this is exactly what my work is about, all of it. So that's the sort of umbrella that we're under. The Enliven is absolute big evolution of that.
Fantastic. Wow, very exciting. So this year, you are not just the individual teacher, but you have gathered, we see a core of teachers actually together. And Jason, you're teaching as well this year.
I am. Yes, I'm teaching. And like I was saying a little bit earlier, that's actually how she and I started. We were sitting talking about the event in general, and she said, so do you want to speak? And I was like, yeah, of course, that'd be great. That's amazing. So it started out as me coming in to speak, and then it grew into the partnership also. But yes, I'll be speaking.
So last year, yes, I also had teachers speak. We had about 8 to 10 teachers last year. So this year, I think I have about 12, 13 teachers.
Wonderful. And so now at your festival, it's 3 days long with the extension of another 2 days. Is that correct?
It's actually, the original vision of it was that we would all take the 5-day journey. And it's a 5-day, and then now we've opened up 2 days, which you could also extend to 3 days for the same price. We're opening that up. Is like if you want to if you can only do Saturday, Sunday, you can do that, or if you want to do Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it would be the same price as the 2-day. We just want to make it really super accessible. We would love to have people benefit from, being in the presence of these incredible teachers in the journey that we've weaved together. It's going to be so much fun and so powerful, and yeah, your whole life is going to shift in such a positive way.
It is. I mean, the idea of these 12 teachers, all being guided and grounded by Himalaya and her work, was from the beginning when I first saw about it, sort of a very powerful message that all of these people would come together for this period of time and teach together. And so initially, like Hema said, it was a 5-day immersion workshop that each day would build on itself, where it was a time and a chance for each person coming in to come in and really just settle in day by day, allow their bodies and their minds, their spirits, all the way to our soul, to be in this immersive atmosphere, to be able to just relax into it for a moment and allow what wants to bubble up, what's naturally trying to bubble up, whether it's a transition in their personal life or professional lives and their career lives, to have a chance to do that and feel supported and feel inspired and like it has a chance to live and breathe. So the 5 days it's almost like this secret, plan to say, you know what, we're going to immerse you in this energy for the right amount of time so that your body can get adjusted to this and really take it forward into your lives. We opened it up for a 2-day option also because we wanted to make it more accessible for people that were coming in, that were working, regular jobs. And then the newest idea that Himalaya had, which was fantastic, is to open, if people are coming in for the 2-day, then we wanted to let them come in for the opening day, which is Friday. So the 2-day originally is Saturday and Sunday, but opening up Friday allows them to come in for the opening ceremony, to be part of the birth, the initiation of the process. So that's open also.
Oh, wonderful. And I mean, coming from the healing arts background, we do believe in that. It takes that 72 hours to actually start to unravel, or that third session, or that third day, or that third treatment, before the body sort of starts to feel safe. The cells start to go, oh, I think I get it now. I'm comfortable. Yes. Now it opens up and it blossoms, and then you can tap into quite a few levels by that point. So I get it. It's wonderful.
Right.
Can you share with us a little bit about the process that one would go through? Like what would your schedule be during the day?
Sure. So there's some really fun things that, because my whole theme of life is celebration, joy, really rocking it out that way, as well as letting go of those things that are in our way that hold us back from shining and radiating our truth in the world. So we're going to start with the typical day. We'll be starting with movement, yoga, and dance with me. And then we'll have like a workshop that will either be a PowerPoint presentation or an experiential, or both. They're professional speakers, but they're also healers and guides. So we're going to be on an experiential journey throughout the day. It's not just sitting and listening to lectures or a conference like that. It's really, we are being guided experientially through the senses, through our minds being activated, through our bodies being activated, or our cells. I'm going to have little dance breaks throughout the day where it's like, okay, we're going to do 10 minutes, 15 minutes of dance movement. See how that can transform you. Every single person that is bringing something to the table, like laughter yoga, we're beginning. Right. Yeah, we've got that on the first couple of days. I made it so we can really let go. Laughter yoga is one of the most extraordinary ways to let go, and how easy it is for us to laugh and to continue that laughter and see how it shifts just so simply. So things like that. And then we've got belief changing, Rita Soman's coming in, changing your beliefs. And then, food as medicine. So all these different tools, and learning how to care for ourselves throughout the day, like, drinking water with chia seeds in it. All of that kind of stuff. How do we balance? How do we sustain? And so it's going to be a fun journey on learning and experiencing throughout. We start at 9 a.m. I didn't want to make it too early. So we start at 9 a.m. and we go pretty much with breaks and all, and lunches and stuff like that, through till about 6 o'clock every day.
Oh, that's wonderful. And during the breaks, do you have lunch and everything prepared for everyone, or?
We didn't do an all-inclusive because we didn't want the price to be too high. We're already at a very nice hotel called the Manhattan Beach Marriott. It's a stunning location. We've got a mall, a little strip mall right beside us where we're going to probably just walk over. And I think in the future we might do like an all-inclusive, let's go into like, Ojai or something like that and have it all be, everything taken care of for us. Because I do like that sense and I do that for my retreats. But this was a different kind of, it's an immersion workshop. So I just thought maybe people also want their freedom to step out and to also be a tourist in Manhattan Beach, since we're in Manhattan Beach, and not be tied to being at the hotel or the location that we're at.
Right. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So do you have people flying in and also staying at the hotel?
Yes, we do. We've got people coming in from Austin, from Houston, from Seattle, from Chicago. We've got people coming from all over. It's exciting. And from Canada too. Yay.
Yay. Jeez, yay.
And from Colorado. My mother is coming out to stay with us and play with us too. So that's going to be really fun.
That is going to be fun. Now, is this the first time she's going to experience anything like this?
Something like this, yes, I think so.
Yeah.
She's experienced some things that are similar, but this will be brand new. And it's so funny too, because she said, so what is this? I want to come and see you speak and be a part of it, but what is it? And I just kind of gave her a touch on it. I said, it's a little bit of, it's going to be some yoga, and there's going to be some other master teachers that are talking about personal growth and development. There's going to be some fun, playful movement type things, but you got to just come out and experience it. I think that it'll be very new for her in a lot of ways, but I think she will absolutely love it. So that's so funny. It's this is the other thing when Himalaya was talking about this was she was describing it to me. And this was before I had really even taken any of her classes or gone to one of her retreats. And I was trying to put my finger on it. And I was like, I can't quite put my finger on it for a while, but I knew it was something very strong and very good that I was drawn to. And I hadn't even experienced it yet. And once I got a chance to take one of her classes and go to one of her retreats, I realized that the reason I wasn't able to put my finger on it was that it was sort of an all-encompassing experience that I've never seen or had before in my life, where I was getting such a full experience. I was doing yoga, but I was doing dance. I was also doing, I come from an acting background. I was doing movement exercises with my body that allowed me to slowly get into my body at my pace. I was doing sound vibration exercises, again, coming from an acting background, that I always just love to help you, to remind you how to resonate and feel your own body and presence through sound. And then she was so fun. She loved doing what she was doing, and I was like, "This is like, I don't know how to describe it yet, because it has so much to offer, and it's accessible to everyone." I've been doing yoga for 5 years, Kundalini yoga and Vinyasa yoga, and I was like, "This is yoga and beyond." It's something that I never knew was out there that I was so glad that I found. But somebody like my mother, who's brand new to it, is perfect for her too, because she can get into just the simple parts and fun parts of it too.
Absolutely.
So it's a really great experience, and I'm glad we're bringing it together with all these other teachers too.
So Jason, what is it that you do? Like, what are you coaching everyone? When Hema says that you're a coach, are you a life coach? Are you a therapist?
What I do is I like to just sit down and just stare at people for about an hour. That's what I do.
That would make the best interview.
I give them the, no, but it is life coaching. I call it more, I always use the term personal growth and development. It's a little more encompassing, personal and professional growth and development. But essentially it's life coaching, where working with people one-on-one. And mostly it's been people that are in a pretty strong and clear transitional time in their lives. And whenever people say, "Well, what do you mean transitional? Is it personal or professional?" And I'm always saying, you know what? It typically turns out to be both. But usually it's a lot of career type of things. And Hema actually created the term destiny shaping. She and I were talking about what it is that I do. And she said, you know what you do essentially? You're working on people with shaping their destinies. And I was like, that's brilliant. That's exactly right.
There you go.
And the idea of merging passion and purpose and play with your profession, with your career life, with your life's work, is something that it took me a long time in my life to get onto that path and really, really step into it, which is exactly what I'm doing now. So that's what I work with people on mostly right now.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
And how can you not play with Hema's wonderful dance forms?
And it's so interesting what Jason was saying about he couldn't understand it until he got into it. And even now, still, it's so hard to explain. I've been doing it for 13 years now, and I still can't explain it because it's an experience. It really is to, and this has been the hardest part, honestly, Christina, is to convey that through marketing, through Facebook, through our emails. It's like, how do we tell you to come? Because it's not to be missed. It's just going to be off the hook. But how do I explain that to you? How do we explain that to you? Because we know once you get there, it's going to be incredible. But it's the getting you there that is the, interesting part that we've all had, our journeys on being healers and walking on this path, really trying to open up doorways for ourselves and everyone else. It's really about, I know it's about wording, but I can't find the words, and I still haven't been able to find the words to say it, except that it's transformational. It's phenomenal. Yeah.
It is.
Or enliven. Like, really, that's why we called it enliven, because it really does enliven in every cell in your body, on every level.
Well, I believe that with a lot of these very life-shifting events and things, that what's interesting is, I always say, if you put it out there, they will come. If you allow it just to present it out there, it will come. There are certain things that words cannot describe, because it is an experience. And every individual my sense is every individual with this kind of work, it is so individual. Everyone is going to take home something completely different from the next person that was there, because it is personal, and it is about their own transformation, their own shifts in life. And this is a brilliant time to have this kind of event because of how much is happening on this planet today. I mean,
that's right.
You can feel it. You can feel people are the type of work that you both do just as individuals, on your own. It's needed right now, because people are starting to understand, the ways that we have been doing things, whether it be through medicine, whether it be through habitual life or culture, is really not flowing and keeping us balanced any longer, that we're needing to reach out a little further, which is, I always, you hear that, reaching out a little further to tap into what is out there, but actually it's reaching further in.
Right.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
Oh, beautifully said.
Well said. Yes.
Yeah, that's really great.
That's why the gifts that you both bring are magnificent and so well needed at this time, on the planet. Now, now that we've have that, do you want to go through some of the teachers that you're going to have?
You're so perfect. Wow, you're so psychic, honestly, because that's exactly what I was just thinking. I wanted to introduce my teacher of the Vedas and of spirituality, of Tantra, he has been a guide and an incredible teacher, Jeffrey Armstrong, and he is gracing us and me and coming to this event, and he's going to be doing two leaded workshops. I'm so honored and grateful that he's coming. He's been in it for 40 years.
Oh my goodness.
And so he walks his talk. He has knowledge of such a range of worldly everything. See, it's hard for me to explain, but he really opens up the door to you really tapping into your spiritual world, your absolute truth, whether that is with one religion, culture, sect or another. It's not about that at all. It's really about opening you up. And then he also talks about Tantra relationships, deepening your core relationships and creating new ones in the world. Really walking with intimacy and love in your life to the fullest potential. So he's going to be opening up our doorways in that. We've got Dr. Jaya Gopal, who is an incredible Ayurvedic teacher and healer. And he lives here in Los Angeles, and we are so honored to have him. I mean, he is really, really incredible. I believe his talk is on Monday, and he's going to teach about basic Ayurveda. So we just understand what that is and what are some simple routines that we can do seasonally or daily that can really help us to balance our lives. You know, we live in the city or wherever we live. It's like at this time, it's really time to take care of ourselves. So these teachers teach us how to do that. Dr. Geeta Maker-Clark, she's coming from Chicago, and she's going to talk about food as medicine, even though she's an MD. Yeah, Geeta's amazing, beautiful angel soul, and she has been studying with Dr. Weil's Institute and really deepened her practice. So she brings that into. Just yesterday, I called her, and she's like, "I'm on my way to go deliver a baby." So that's exactly what she's like, this liaison of really birthing people into the world. And I feel like that's what she's doing with us, even though we're not babies. She's birthing us into our next level of consciousness, our next level of health and well-being, along with Allison Stillman. Allison Stillman is a priestess. I call her a priestess goddess. She is going to be doing The Ancient Art of Anointing. She has a book that she's written called The Ancient Art of Anointing. Yeah. So there's like a real wide range of things. And so she's going to take us on this experiential gift of the sense and then anointing us. So she anoints us on our third eye in these specific shapes, and we transcend. Like, it really is about transcending with her for sure. Felicia Tomasco is going to also talk about just radical health. How do we be in our most radical health through Ayurveda again, through yoga. So she's going to lead us through simple little practices and whatnot. And Hillary Kimblin's going to be doing the laughter yoga, like I said. Rita Soman doing change of beliefs. Jason Weisgerber, as we have in the house, inspiring us, motivating us, totally shifting our consciousness, letting us know how to walk this world in integrity with what our true heart says. So these are, Flo Lyside is going to be doing herbal healing. Stephen Huntsman is going to be doing Qigong. We're going to actually go down to Manhattan Beach. We're going to take it down to the beach, and we're going to do a Qigong practice.
Nice. Qigong.
Yeah, Qigong. And then Dr. Elizabeth Lambar, she's also going to be talking to us about really inspiring us, because she's this fabulous woman in her 50s, and she looks like she's in her 20s. I mean, she really has done a lot of work on amazing foods, amazing exercise, and all of that. So she's going to talk to us about all of that kind of stuff. Oh, and then we have a new guest that I just was so inspired by that I had to put in last actually. Dr. Charles Richards, who is an incredible friend of mine, just recently launched a book called The Psychology of Wealth. That man is a deep, beautiful presence, and he's going to be sharing with us about that, how to change our old patterns, our ancestors' patterns of like what we've come in with our view about wealth, and create new pathways for us to seek into that. And then the newest addition is Sean Tenay. Sean Tenay owns a center down in what is the name of that town? It's down by Encinitas. I can't remember what it's called, but he has this beautiful center, and he's going to be talking to us about Vastu, about sacred space. So Vastu is an art of, it's the Indian feng shui. It's where feng shui comes from. So it's this ancient way to create your space. So you are always held wherever you live with absolute, support, nurturance, creating high vibration in your space. So you're feeling vibrant, feeling alive, feeling healthy, balanced, and all of that. So we've got all this and more, and I'm going to be the thread through the whole thing, making sure that it's like celebration, love, and joy through the whole thing.
Oh, fantastic. We can feel it already.
That's great.
That's wonderful. Very, very exciting. So this is like 5 very full days with everyone.
Yes, absolutely.
And then if you're teachers that want to deepen your practice and add yoga and dance to your life, you can take the additional 4 days, and then the whole journey becomes 9 days for you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's a 9-day certification program where you become certified to teach my signature classes and, motivate through yoga and dance and transform your communities.
Oh my goodness. Go ahead, Jason.
I was going to just add, it's so funny. I think Himalaya is a slight bit humble in what she's describing in the 9-day process, because I got to tell you, if I were any yoga teacher out there that was interested in adding some kind of skill to my practice, it would be what Himalaya offers in her sacred dance, Indian dance, and yoga combination classes, where she fuses all these things together along with this, like I was saying earlier, sound, vibration, movement, general inspiration and play. And the 9 days is that process and that possibility, that offering to come and learn from her in her signature classes. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to add a little bit extra in there, because I really think it's a great opportunity for people to come in, learn directly with her, and take what she is doing and put it into their classes and use it in their classes as well.
Oh, wow. That'd be wonderful.
Yeah. Thank you.
Wonderful. Mm-hmm. Right now, what we have on screen right now is a clip of your video, actually, of everyone having a great time.
Oh,
good.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
And so this is a video clip from your site itself, I do believe, where you're promoting your Enliven Festival. So okay. This was this from the first year, these individuals?
I believe so. I don't know what the clip is, but I believe so. If it's if we're doing weird things, it's probably us. It's very hard to capture that on camera too. Like I said, it's an experiential, so we definitely start out slow, and some of the elements are that we end up having spaz attacks, or what some people are now calling tantrum yoga.
It's been fantastic.
So, yes.
We have been, and I want to say thank you to a couple of news channels that have done stories on Himalaya and the Enliven 2012 event, because ABC7 and KCAL9 News have both really been drawn to the idea that she presents in some of her classes of Tantrum yoga and the whole practice that she does. Hema, will you describe what that process is?
Yoga.
Yes, basically, it is like, when we were 2 years old, there was nothing to hold us back from really expressing our truth. So when something would irritate us, we don't even know maybe consciously what that was. There would just be an irritation in our space. And, everything in our body is energy.
Yeah.
So we knew intuitively or physically that we needed to move that energy out. And as we've walked in the world and we've become these adults and we've got these shoulders up to our ears and we're like walking around like this, we've forgotten that it's just as easy as going like this, and just having a spaz attack and really letting it go. So, a few times throughout the class, we'll have these moments of like definitely, flowing in our yoga, getting into the meditation, getting into the flow, and then we'll take a deep breath in, hold the breath, vibrate everything, and then let it out like a just big spaz, let out, and go like that. So that is the process of Tantrum yoga.
Tantrum yoga.
Oh, that's great. So that's a new form coming.
Yes, it is.
Founded by Hemalayaa.
Within a form.
So Hema, your background is in dance, correct? Is in yoga and is in dance. And am I gathering that you have integrated the two of them together and created this wonderful form that you have now?
Yes. And I'll just share, absolutely, I do come from a dance background, but not from any training. I was not trained as dance, but it was in my culture so strongly. If any of you know the Indian culture, especially the Punjabi culture, dance is part of our life. You know, we will get together with family, friends, and at some point in the evening, everyone will get up, we'll play music, and everybody will get up and dance. So if you've been to an Indian wedding, you know this, or if you've seen movies, Monsoon Wedding, or what's another good one is, oh gosh, what's that one called? Oh, I can't think of it.
Bend It Like Beckham?
Bend It Like Beckham, yeah. That's another one. So that's a full Punjabi traditional Sikh family that I was actually raised in, same thing. And so it was just part of my life. So that's what I'm teaching. So that's what I'm bringing into the yoga practice. Yoga came into my life. Well, my dad did yoga when I was younger, so I did have meditation growing up. But yoga really came into my life. Yoga asana came into my life in my early 20s. And so I did yoga, and it was very therapeutic. Absolutely. The practice of yoga opened me up and really let go of some things that were blocking my own psyche and my own, body and all of that. And, it got really serious. And so as I was lying there one day, it just happened that I was like, oh, I need to play some music. The music that happened to play that moment was some Bhangra music. Bhangra is that folk music from Punjab, India. So your shoulders start to bounce. You can't help but, have a big smile on your face, your hips and everything. So I played the music, and in 5 minutes, I was completely transformed. It was totally, just very liberating, very fun. And I went back to my yoga practice. So I put put myself back on the mat, did some stretches, all of that stuff. And it felt so right. So I began, once I started teaching, I began doing that in my classes, just having like a 5-minute dance break. And then it just evolved into what it is now, which is such a blend of both. Dance for the liberation of the self, not so much for choreography, learning some new dance steps. It's really about, liberating ourselves fully and freeing ourselves. So, I think dance is our birthright. We were, as babies, if you just like tap on some pots and make a beat, that baby starts to move. The belly, boy or girl, we have that from birth. And that's what I'm bringing out into people, reminding us, that we are that, we did that. So let's go back to that.
Connecting the core.
Yes.
Now, Hema, when we saw you at the Tadasana Festival, you were actually working with Parashakti at one point, Dance of Liberation. Now, have you both worked together a lot before, or
that was
because integrating your two forms together?
That was our first time, and we only had probably a quick little conversation before we taught together. We just knew that the chemistry was going to be perfect. We had met each other years and years ago at a conference we were both teaching at, and Fabian was the one who was like, we should do something together, all three of us. He did the music for it, DJ Fabian Al-Sultani, and I thought that would be great. Our work is so similar and very complementary as well. We definitely have different paths, but it's very complementary. And it really, did you get a chance to pop in that class? Because it was.
Oh, yes. Yes. We did so much filming in that class.
Great. Yeah, that was a very powerful class. It was very fun. I don't co-teach a lot, so it's very special when it does happen.
No, it was really wonderful, and that's why the similarities, or the way you both did the class was just so fluid. It was everyone who was on mic that day just seemed to all flow so well. That the whole crowd was just getting so deep into it. Were you there, Jason, to experience that?
Yeah, I was. It was fantastic. They all worked really, really well together. Everyone loved that. It was so good.
It's really fantastic to see, how everyone of all ages. They had little kids that were like 3 years
That's
old
right.
in there. And, I tried to get my son in on it. And they had that artist that was at the corner of the room that was just drawing and sketching the movements that were beginning to happen in the room. So everything was so organic that started to sort of evolve. It was hilarious. It was wonderful.
It was art happening. Absolutely. It was definitely beautiful.
Living art, for sure.
Yes, yes.
That's amazing. Now, so Hema, after the Enliven Festival itself, there is the teacher training for the 4 extra days. Is that correct?
Yes, yes. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
yeah, definitely. It's a full journey. Enliven is part of that. And that's, last year it was just called the Hema Wellness Program because it was 10 days that you needed to commit to. And then the Enliven was weaved in through it. But this time we separated them so that the general, public could come in for those 5 days and not necessarily have to take the training. But then the training still had the benefit of having these incredible teachers leading us. Mm-hmm. So it's the two worlds coming together.
Wonderful. So all your teachers, are they all, most of them going to be there throughout the program of the 5 days?
Yes, a few of them are actually staying throughout the whole time. So they'll be there to connect with us, to hang out, to be available for questions and all of that. Yeah.
Wonderful. Now, I covered that now. I completely blanked out on part of this already. I'm excited. I know my question was, what level does someone have to be at? Do they have to have a background in yoga? Do they have to have a certain level of yoga or dance or anything? Is there a prerequisite?
Mm-hmm. So for the teacher training, yes. I would expect that you had a few years of practicing yoga. You don't have to have any certification or anything like that. You don't have to have taken a teacher training before to do the full 9-day program. For the 5-day, open to everyone. It's so made for beginner, intermediate, and advanced. So really, there's no like Jason's mother is coming. She's never done anything like this, so it's going to be perfect for her. And then I have some students coming that have been with me, have studied with me for a while. They're coming and it's perfect for them. And then I have some newbies that have never experienced the work before through any of these teachers or myself. It's perfect for them too. So it really is created in such a way that it's open to all. So
wonderful. And so really everyone in all ages is like that big open door. And would you say it's, if people are looking to sort of break out from their norm, so to say.
Yes.
To come and actually, we get so many questions like that. Like, what do I do? And Jason, I'm sure you hear that all the time with your life coaching is like, how do we do it? What, like they'd like the tools. They'd like to be handed the tools. We're in such a society these days where, we go to the doctor, we get the cure, or we get a Band-Aid or something like that, or you go online and you find out your answers to whatever you would like. But when it comes to life and our journeys, we get stuck, and our society sort of wants the answer, like, give me the tool so I can plug into that tool, and it can happen overnight. I mean, would you say that this would be like a starting point or a door for people to go into, and the whole event is the tool for them to actually find which path they need to go down?
Yeah, I would say that the whole is a holistic, that's why we're covering so many different areas and paths and tools that you can pick and choose what works for you, what you want to add to your daily life. Or you could embrace it all and just be like full of this Enliven package and take it into your life that way. It really is created in such a way that if you took one tool home, that will change your life. That will absolutely positively add and benefit your life. If you chose a few, and that's the whole reason why the whole vision was 5 days or 3 days is great too, because you really live it for those hours, those days together. Right. And it's consecutive, and then it becomes a habit. It becomes an embodiment. And that's exactly what the intention is behind it.
You know, one thing I wanted to add, Christina, is, if you don't mind.
Oh, absolutely.
Right in line with what Himalaya is saying right now. I come from a background where I was working with, like I said, a motivational speaker who brought in guests on his stage from Marianne Williamson and Tony Robbins and John Gray and a lot of other large name speakers and teachers. But the students, the participants, were people that really just sat in the chairs and literally for 8 hours a day would just take this information in. And, you know, we might have a breakout session where people discuss it with each other. But for the most part, they're really just sort of observers and just learners. And this is a participatory experience. That's what I'm so drawn to, is that people are going to be sitting and learning and listening and taking in information, but they're also going to be experiencing it right then and there every single day, so that you're not just thinking about it in your mind. You're actually able to practice it in your body, in your bones, in your blood, in your being. And these things can be taken out much more easily and naturally, you know, after the event, to be carried on into your life, because you've had a chance to practice them. You've had a chance to, you know, get a feel for them and practice them with other people in the energy with Himalaya. And so I think one of the biggest things about this kind of immersion workshop is that it's a participatory experience. So it's rather than just being an observer or a studier, you're actually getting to experience it.
Oh, that's wonderful. And I always feel that that's really important, because I'm very kinesthetic. I have to move.
Right.
I have to be involved in some ways. Like, you know, if I could, anyone I run into, if I could hug them or as I go along the way, that's perfect for me.
Yes.
And, you know, to move and just that freedom, you know, of movement while you're learning is almost like tapping into every sense that we're gifted with as humans.
You got it.
Right. So it really starts to go right to the core, right to that cellular level of our learning and our structure. So I think you have put together something really very brilliant, that, you know, they're getting all senses. And if you have, it sounds like you have like aromatherapies, you have oils, you have, energy healing. That's what I also heard, that you have the sound healing and vibration. I mean, you're tapping into every sense that we have.
Yes,
There's
definitely.
no place to go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nothing will be uncovered, untouched.
That's right.
Yes. Exactly.
Wow, that is so exciting. That's so exciting. And is there any way that people need to prepare for this?
Oh, that's a good question. I think just showing up really is all you really need to prepare. Is bring comfortable clothing, bring your bathing suit, because there's a pool.
Yeah, and it's getting hot here in LA.
Exactly. I think just being open to receiving way more than you think that you can, because you really will receive way more. So just being open-minded, and I would say also being open to, I already said being open way more to receiving way more than you expected, but also asking questions. You know, be prepared to ask questions on why, and just to deepen your own practice. You know, I think that that's the thing, is we want to know why we're going to take this green drink or drink this green drink, or why we're going to move our bodies in this particular way. So ask those questions if you need to know why, because some of us are more logical. Some of us are more experiential and feeling people. So, you know, learn the way that you can make it benefit you. Yeah.
I think Himalaya said it just right. And when it comes to an event like this, when it comes to an experience like this, the most important thing you can do is show up. You know, we continue to invite people day after day, week after week. And the decision-making process about coming to something like this, whether it's a 2-day or a 5-day or a 9-day event, it's a commitment, but it's important to be able to make a decision and just to show up. There's a lot of different ways that we can prepare you and talk to you about it and tell you what it is. But for the most part, in your life, when I coach with people, Woody Allen even says that 90% of success is showing up. So that's the most important part, I think.
And we can't guarantee that this is going to happen again. I have to say that this particular event, to bring all these teachers together, they're coming in from all over, to have them all at one place at one time is extraordinary. And I'm not sure it's going to happen again. So I do want to say that it's, really true. People take take for granted. And I do it all the time. I take for granted, I'll do that next time. And the next time doesn't happen. And I'm not, I can really honestly say I'm not sure if there will be a next time that I could pull this amount, these beings together at this, in an event like this again. So yes.
Well, the thing is, it's even if it may not be the same, like last time it wasn't the same. And I always say to people, who wants it to be the same? It's like every year we do the Virtual World Yoga Meditation Conference every year. And from the first year to the second year to the third year, I insist on change. I insist on the shift because, we just need to make those steps. Mm-hmm. Whether it be to keep up with technology or whether it be to have fresh focus coming in or anything like that, that's the only way we're going to know, what's flowing. And the world is always shifting. The planet is always shifting. That means it affects us as individuals. Well, it's going to need to shift. So I kind of see it as it might not be the same as it was last year, but I cannot see you not doing something of this sort.
Right. I think all I'm trying to say is the time is now. Right. Right. if you're called at all, is like this is the time, because this consciousness, this is happening right now, and there's no time like the present.
Absolutely.
And it's important. And again, this comes from a coaching standpoint. It's important to take advantage of the moment, to step into it now. I mean, there's always going to be a later. And how many times are we going to tell ourselves that I'll do this later, until we experience in our bodies a certain level of discomfort and pain, telling us to make a move and to do something and to take action and step forward right now. Right. And so now is the time. That's
right. And I completely agree with you. And what I meant by that previous comment is, I believe that even if the people who had come last year, it's a whole different event this year.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yes.
And every year is it's if it worked for you last year, come again this year, because it's that step better.
And that's absolutely true. In fact, I have a student that came last year who is coming this year. So,
wonderful.
And she's doing just the 5-day. She did the whole 10-day last year, and this year she's doing the 5-day to be part of the Enliven, because she knows, what it was. And now where it's going, I'm excited to hear from her, what her experience is, for sure.
Oh, yes. Yes, definitely. That would be wonderful. Now, how can everyone find out about this?
Enliven2012.com. It's all the information is there. You can also call 866-436-5621 and speak to Jason directly, and he will guide you on how to enroll and make it really easy and efficient and wonderful. We welcome you and invite you all to participate. And thank you, Christina, so much for being an ally. What you're doing in the world is so important, and we appreciate it so much to have your support and your love, and you just honoring this way and being an ally. Thank you so much.
Well, it's our pleasure, for sure.
Yes, absolutely. I second that. We love Yoga Hub. You guys have an amazing energy. When I first met you at Tadasana, I could feel that you guys were clear and focused. You had a great vision and a great team working together, and I feel it now too. So thank you for having us.
Oh, please. It's our pleasure. Really an honor. And, so I have a question, though, about that site that you just gave. You have enliven2012.com. And I also have enlivenfestival.com. Can they both go to the same place?
Yes, I believe Enliven Festival goes to my homepage for the website. Enliven 2012 will take you straight to the page where the festival information is, the event information is. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So check them both out.
Check them both out.
Check them both out. And Jason, do you have a website, Jason?
I do. My website is jasoncoaching.com.
jasoncoaching.com. Fantastic.
And it's under construction today, I think, but it'll be up and running very soon. Yes.
Fabulous. Well, that's very exciting. Is it just launching, or is it just under construction right now?
It's just launching.
Yay.
It's in the process of launching. So yes.
We know what that's like. So. We know what that's like with the number of sites that we build here. So it's very exciting. That is
yes.
Definitely is something to celebrate.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
True. Thank you.
Fantastic. Well, I want to thank everyone for joining us here today. And remember to check out enlivenfestival.com. We here at Yoga Hub are so honored to support your vision and your cause, both of you. And we really look forward to having you both back on the show in the near future.
Thank you so very, very much. And thank you, everybody, for listening. We will hope to see you there.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.